Alright, so check it. I'm on the go. I am in Boston right now, not anywhere near my recording studio, which is essentially just a laptop, and no, that's about it. Just a laptop with Audacity on it, so nothing special there. So, of course, I can just record anywhere. I'll edit this later. Um, this is probably just going to be around 2 or 3 minutes, maybe. Or it could be longer. I'm really not great at timing these things. Hopefully that's a skill I master, or I should say develop before I even master it. Develop as time passes, but enough of my inability to time things well. I want to talk about this whole thing about Overwatch versus Battleborn. And first week of Gaming Pigeon Special Delivery, I was talking about Battleborn and how much content is coming to that game, and I didn't exactly talk about how I feel about the game. I actually have about a 15-minute playthrough of a beta mission, and I have to say I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say it's the next Borderlands series where you're gonna have all sorts of characters playing to play as, and you end up actually being comfortable with that character with a whole set of guns that you can play with and all the magical things you can do with the Borderlands series. What I will say is that the concept of leveling up in game and having to make a very distinct choice between, alright, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the characters. Well, the only character I can think of right now is Thorn, with her bow and arrow and her various abilities surrounding that. She has some sort of AoE ability that allows her to slow down enemies and deal progressive damage and things like that. That sort of stuff is really cool, and I feel like that sort of thing could be something special. And I guess the only thing that's holding it back is the enthusiasm, which is weird because it is a game by Gearbox, and really the only reason that we aren't seeing the numbers that we saw with a game like how Borderlands sold was the fact that we don't exactly have the matchmaking within Battleborn, and it's kind of one of those vicious cycles. The game suffers because it's not matchmaking well, but it's not matchmaking well because there aren't many people playing the game. And the reason there aren't enough people playing the game is, well, people have heard the game doesn't matchmake well. Well, that's kind of strange considering, but then I realized that basically everybody's playing Overwatch. And I'm not gonna bash Overwatch. Overwatch, from the time that I have actually spent being able to play it, is fun. They have bright characters. They have characters with much more I would say they look like they would have more depth than they do. But again, I feel like Battleborn kind of offers about the same sort of experience with even more characters. But the issue seems to be that one way or another you have to compete with the fact that maybe it's Blizzard that's pulling this out. That could be a factor into why this game isn't gaining the popularity that it's essentially what its rival is doing, because everybody seems to be comparing the two. The hero shooter is really starting its its rise with these two games. And I've already spoken about in another gaming pitch and special delivery. I was talking about Agents of Mayhem and how excited I am for that and how much of a hero shooter that looks like. And again, it kind of goes back to what I was looking at and saying, interesting characters and interesting abilities. And for a game like Battleborn not to be recognized for that, for one reason or another, I don't know. It just seems kind of sad. I look at I just continuously I'm continuously replaying the story missions I got to play during the beta, and while the mechanics in some cases didn't feel as crisp in some areas, it was clean in so many others. I mean, yeah, the frame rate dropped every now and then with certain matches, but that kind of comes with the fact that other people are playing with not so great internet, and you kind of have to make some concessions for them. I'm not gonna complain too much about them though. This is kind of what you get for having an online community. We used to play games sitting right next to each other. I remember the Xbox and how, oh wow, it has 4 ports. Holy cheese. That's pretty amazing. And I mean, even before then, we had the multi-tap on the original PlayStation, when we used to play games right next to each other. That we didn't have to really deal with some of those issues. I mean, of course, it had to do with the limitations of the hardware at the time, but at the same time, it was fun. And again, I think that is one of those things we're forgetting about video games. We as gamers have turned this into a pretty big industry, and I mean, industry is fine. Making money out of something that is fun is fine, but you have to make sure it's still fun. And I mean, at the end of the day, both Battleborn and Overwatch are still fun, but it seems like the fun is being lost to people not appreciating it for not being the other game. In this case, Battleborn not being Overwatch. I find that Overwatch, in terms of let's say lore, for instance, lore is a pretty it's a sketchy subject in some ways when it comes to Overwatch. We get those really nicely animated cartoons that kind of tell us more about the characters in that regard, but unlike Battleborn, in which they are releasing pretty soon, actually, lore missions for each character. You have missions for Thorn, you have missions for okay, I can't remember everybody else's character, but everybody else's name, but I see their faces, and I'm saying, yeah, or their characters, and I'm saying, yeah, I'd want to know more about these characters. Oh yeah, Montana's another character. He's interesting to play as. He's fun, and I kind of want to know more about this guy who just seems like a fun-loving American heavy from like a heavy from Team Fortress 2, but just, I don't know, more fun. I always look at him and I'm like, I kind of feel like I could go to a party with Montana and say, yeah, I mean, this party was okay, but it's like 10 times better because I brought this dude with me. He has interesting stories. He has one of those great belly laughs that it's kind of infectious, so you start laughing immediately. I can just imagine that. So yeah, I'm very I'm very excited to pick up the game and start looking into all these characters and all that stuff. From what I understand, like I think I've mentioned that I mentioned this in the the Gaming Pigeon daily, not daily. If that was daily, well, the Gaming Pigeon special delivery. These characters are gonna have more characters to. We're gonna have more characters to play with. For right now, I can't even remember how many characters we have, and I mean, there's all sorts of story we could be going into for them. It looks like we're gonna get 4 or 5 new characters soon. So we already have a whole slew of characters that we don't exactly have all the answers to, and they're giving us the opportunity for free to delve into them. And I know, again, Battleborn has its issues with gameplay, and it does have a cartoonish style, but I mean, what is Overwatch if not cartoony? So I can't really use that as a point. But I don't know, these two styles of game, I feel like they are different enough. I feel like Overwatch is its own thing because I would very much consider it more like Team Fortress 2 or something that resembles that. I can't really compare it to Battleborn, which feels more like Smite, but with a much larger map to play on with these with the story missions. And I mean, I understand that within the concept of competitive play, Overwatch is blowing everything out of the water. But again, it does come back to the fact that people haven't really given Battleborn enough of a chance. I mean, I'm seeing some reviews just based on the concept of, oh hey, so yeah, we have some matchmaking issues. Well, yeah, the matchmaking issues seem to be coming from the fact that everybody bought Overwatch almost unanimously over Battleborn, and I can't see why you don't at least give it a chance. Go gamefly it or something. Go play it for a week or so and say, hey, this isn't half bad. I can play through and find a character I like, and then when you find that character you like, you can get good at them, play competitively, and increase the competitive scene to the point where, hey, you know, maybe I should be playing this competitively. I imagine not everybody is a hardcore TF2 fan and they don't want another experience like TF2. And yeah, it's not a game for everyone, and I'm kind of just repeating myself, but what I'm trying to get at is to compare these two games, the game that essentially is a MOBA and another team-based or character-based shooting game. It's not fair. I don't know. They both have abilities in the game, and that's, I feel like, strangely enough, that is the only point that people link between the two games. And that seems to be enough that people aren't going to give one game a chance over another. Like I said, we have the ability to rent games still. We have Gamefly and things like that. So there's always a chance for us to go out and say, hey, I'm curious about this game and I want to try it. And I would say, yeah, go ahead and try Battleborn. From what I've played, I'm probably gonna pick it up later. Probably gonna pick it up for my birthday. It's July 20th. Just so you know, if you wanna you want to send me over something. I know you have no idea who I am exactly. But my PlayStation account, if you want to gift it, is Hyena13. You know, hyena, like the animal, like the dog-like creature that laughs a lot, and then the number 13 behind it. Yeah, that's a it's a joke. You don't actually have to gift me anything. I want to give you this rant here for fun. I don't want to push this on anyone. Yeah, this is really just my opinion on the whole Overwatch versus Battleborn thing that seems to spring up by itself just because of basically one mechanic. If you think about it, if one game did not have the special abilities and the other one did, we wouldn't be talking about how similar these two games are or how to compare them, I should say. How to compare Battleborn to Overwatch. Yeah. So, this has gone on for about 16 minutes. And I've been, yeah. This has been Stefan for Gaming Pigeon, and I've been ranting for the sake of burning through time and trying to figure something out in terms of how to convince people that games need to be given a chance before we pass judgment. Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but just a little reminder. So yeah, bye.